Hello everyone, welcome back to the final trilogy of this Golang crash course. I understand that this is technically the fourth video, but think of the pointer tutorial as a spin-off, kind of like how Star Wars did that with the Han Solo and the Rogue One story. But hopefully this will be successful in like those two, or I guess Rogue One was nice. Anyway, enough about Star Wars. Today we will be exploring some. We're gonna be exploring structs and arrays. We won't be exploring any more data structures in this video. This is because this is just a basics tutorial. Hopefully, I will be using Go and other series. Like I'm thinking of making a web series, like where I make websites. If you guys have any ideas of what to do next with Go, I would love to hear them. Okay, so let's start off the tutorial with structs. Okay, so we went over structs already a bit at the start of, or in the middle of the second video. However, I feel like, and so my friends have also pointed out, that I didn't go enough into depth with them, to which I say, fair enough. Okay, so let's just go back to structs. So as you can see, I've imported or I've pasted the struct that I used in the previous video. Okay, now when you have a struct, you can store data, but you can also print out the entire data itself or certain portions of the data. All right. So for an example, let's suppose if I create a variable called x, okay, and it's going to be equal to the coordinate struct, and I'm going to give the values of 5 and 10. Okay. Now I can, yeah, okay, it's not declared in the compiler. So what I can do is I can also just print out the x value. So let's just print that out like how we did in the last video. Okay, and I'm just going to print out x. All right, and I'm just going to go run main.go. What's wrong? Whoops, I just forgot to specify my path. So now if I were to run this, go run main.go, I'm just going to get 5 and 10. But let's suppose if I only want to look at the latitude or only the longitude, right? So I can view that by using x.latitude. Now if I run go run main.go, I only get 5. And the same concept works for longitude. All right? We get 10. All right? Similarly enough, I can also change the specific values of a struct, all right, because the values of the struct are not static, okay, meaning that they can be changed. However, the size of the struct always has to be the one initialized. For an example, the length of this struct is 2. There's a latitude and a longitude value. So let's suppose if I were to go, and I would go x dot latitude is now equal to 500, or 500. Okay, now let's see what happens when I print out the struct. I'm just going to clear that. Go run main.go. As you can see, we now get 510. All right, so hopefully you've now gotten a much better understanding as to how structs work. This code will all be on my text-based tutorials. Okay, so be sure to check that out. All right. Now, the next thing we will be exploring are called arrays. If you're coming from another coding language, you might already know what this is. Arrays are simply just an amount of okay, it's a fixed amount of data of a certain type. For an example, integers. So let's just clear up this code. Okay, so to make basically let's first show you guys how an array works, right? So an array is basically like a set of, so let's suppose if I want to have an array of numbers, right? So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 6, 4, 1. Okay. Every array has a fixed size. That size cannot be changed. Okay. And every place like where an array is located is called an index. And indexes start from 0 all the way to and so on. Okay. So let's first use string arrays. Okay. So to make a string array, and it's the exact same way to make a regular what's it called? Make a regular integer array. So let's call a variable, and let's just call it array. Oh, sorry, I think I'm getting a notification. Yeah, okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so suppose if I create an array, all right, and I want to specify the size of the array. So the size of the array is going to be, I don't know, 2. All right, so that means that 2 values can be inserted into the array. And then I also need to specify the type, so it's going to be a string. You can also use booleans and integers and floats. Okay, now, yeah, okay, so it's not used. So now you can actually go into the array and populate it with 2 values. So I can go array 0 is equal to, I don't know, hello. And I can go array 1 is equal to world. And just make sure to add spaces between the equal signs. It's just good practice. My old boss used to yell at me for that. Well, not yell, but he wasn't really fond of it, which I don't blame him for, okay? So now let's just print out, the array at the different times. So right now, if we print out the array, and then let's just print out the array after it's been populated. Whoops. Okay, now if I were to clear it and go run main.go. So at first what's it called? Array is empty, and then it has 2 values. Okay, and it's all separated by a space, which I don't understand why they do that, but okay. Similarly, I can also change the value of a current index. Right, so I can go like array 0 is now equal to goodbye world, and now if I were to just print this out, and now let me just clear this out, go run main.go. So it goes hello world, then it goes goodbye world. All right. So that's how it works. And I can also leave some values empty. Like if I were to just which I have proven it already, but like instead of like telling what the second index is, or the first or the index at 1, I can just comment this out. And now if I were to just run this, so go run main.go, yeah, there's simply a space there. So the compiler acknowledges that there is a value there, but it doesn't show anything because it's not specified. All right. We can also use the declarative operator that I did already discussed in the previous video, and please make sure to check that out if you still haven't. All right. So I'm going to show you guys how to now use the declarative operator, and I'm also going to use integers for this. All right. So I'm going to collect numbers, and I'm going to make a declarative operator, and the size of it's going to be 6, I guess. And then I can just say integer, and then I'm just going to put in like my set. So 2, 3, 1, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0. So as you can see, I don't need these to be sorted. I can have them like with any value. Like I can make them unorganized. They just have to be integers. So let's just run this now. Let me print this out. Line numbers. Okay. Now if I were to run this, we can see that yeah, so we can see that we've gotten every single value over here. And if I were to like simply remove one of these, okay, like I removed the last index, go run main.go, it leaves a 0 there. That's because it's an integer, right? So if the value is unknown, it's always kept at 0. At least that's how Golang works. If you have a different language, that might be different. Like Python usually has null or none, but this is just some basic subtle syntax. Okay, so I hope you benefited from watching this video. If you guys have any questions, please make sure to leave them in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe, as I've said quite a few times. I have seen 1 new subscriber, so I'm pretty happy about that. All right, and be sure to check out my text-based tutorials if you guys want to look more at a written explanation. Okay, thanks for watching.